Welcome back, everybody, to another deep dive, this time into cultivating positive energy, particularly when life throws us a curveball. We're going to be looking at some really practical techniques based on what you sent us.
Okay.
And, one of the things that it emphasizes is that we have the power to choose how we respond, even when things are tough.
Right.
Instead of, feeling overwhelmed by challenges, we can build a foundation for facing them with a more, positive outlook.
Yeah, and it's not about, being happy all the time.
Right.
Because life, as we know, is full of ups and downs. But it's about developing that toolkit to navigate the challenges with more resilience.
I love that, a toolkit.
Yeah.
And their source material introduces this great analogy of a garden.
Okay.
Just like planting seeds and nurturing them over time. We can cultivate positive energy through small, consistent actions.
Yeah, and that analogy really highlights the importance of daily practice. If we tend to those positive habits consistently, we can watch them grow and flourish just like plants in a well-tended garden.
Okay, so let's dig into that first tool or seed, so to speak.
Okay.
And our source material talks about the power of gratitude.
Right.
And I know this might seem like familiar territory, but there's a reason it's a recurring theme. It's incredibly powerful. So instead of just listing its benefits, let's explore some specific techniques for actually cultivating gratitude.
Okay.
Have you ever tried gratitude journaling?
Oh yeah, gratitude journaling can be a really great practice.
Yeah.
It's more than simply listing things you're grateful for.
Right.
It's about focusing on those details and really savoring the moments. And research suggests that this can actually help to rewire our brains for positivity by shifting our focus from what we lack to what we already have.
I used to think gratitude journaling was just a fluffy, feel-good exercise.
Right.
But when I started incorporating it into my routine, I was amazed by the shift in my own perspective. It really helped me appreciate the little things and find moments of joy, even during challenging times.
Yeah, that's the beauty of it.
Yeah.
It's training our attention to notice and appreciate the good things, no matter how small.
Right.
It's like training a muscle. The more we practice gratitude, the stronger it becomes.
So we've planted the seed of gratitude.
Yes.
Let's move on to the next tool our source recommends, and that's movement.
Okay.
And before you think this is about intense workouts,
Yeah.
let me clarify. It's about incorporating movement into our day in ways that feel good.
Absolutely. Even gentle movement can have a profound impact on our energy levels. And there's a fascinating scientific basis for this.
Oh, yeah.
Exercise releases endorphins.
Those feel-good chemicals.
Exactly. Those feel-good chemicals in our brains, which naturally elevates our mood. It also helps reduce stress hormones like cortisol, further contributing to a sense of calm and well-being.
Makes so much sense.
Yeah.
It's like a natural mood booster and energy enhancer all rolled into one.
Yeah.
And it doesn't have to be complicated. A walk outside, some stretching, or even dancing around your living room can make a difference. Absolutely. I've noticed that when I'm feeling stuck or sluggish, even just getting up and moving around for a few minutes helps me to feel more energized and clear-headed.
And if we connect this back to our garden analogy,
Okay.
movement is like providing that fresh air and sunshine to our minds and bodies. It allows for growth and revitalization.
I love that.
Yeah.
Okay, so we've got gratitude and movement ready for the next tool in our positive energy toolkit.
Absolutely. Let's explore the power of connection.
This one is especially crucial during challenging times because it's so easy to isolate ourselves when we're struggling. But as our source emphasizes, we're not meant to go through life's ups and downs alone.
Right. We are social creatures by nature. And those connections play a vital role in our well-being.
Yeah.
And there are even different types of social support that contribute to our resilience. For example, emotional support from loved ones can help us feel seen and understood. Instrumental support, like practical help with tasks or errands, can reduce stress and create space for self-care. Informational support can empower us with knowledge and resources.
Oh, wow.
And appraisal support can help us gain perspective and find meaning in difficult situations.
Wow. I've never thought about the different types of support like that.
No.
It's not just about having people around. It's about having people who can provide the specific kind of support we need in different moments.
Exactly. And recognizing those different needs allows us to seek out the right kind of connection for the situation. It's about building that supportive network that can nurture our well-being in all its complexities.
And our source also reminds us of the importance of giving support as well as receiving it.
Yes.
There's a powerful quote by Maya Angelou that beautifully captures this.
Okay.
She says, "I have found that among its other benefits, giving liberates the soul of the giver."
That's beautiful.
That's so true. Yeah. Giving can be incredibly empowering. It shifts our focus outward.
Right.
And it reminds us that we have something valuable to offer others, even when we're facing our own challenges.
It's like this beautiful exchange of energy
Yes.
that strengthens our connections and creates a ripple effect of positivity.
We not only lift others up, but also experience the joy and fulfillment that comes from helping others.
Absolutely.
Okay, so we've explored the power of gratitude, movement, and connection. Our source has one more bonus tip for cultivating positive energy.
Ah, yes. This one is all about self-compassion.
Okay.
It's often overlooked, but it's an essential ingredient in building resilience and nurturing a positive outlook.
It's so true. We often judge ourselves so harshly,
Right.
especially when we're going through tough times. We tend to focus on our shortcomings and forget to offer ourselves the same kindness and understanding we would extend to a friend.
It's like we have this inner critic that's constantly pointing out our flaws, mistakes, and that constant negativity can drain our energy and make it even harder to cope with challenges.
So how do we cultivate self-compassion? What does that look like in practice?
Self-compassion involves treating ourselves with the same care and concern we would offer a loved one who is struggling.
Okay.
It's about acknowledging our imperfections without judgment and recognizing that, everyone makes mistakes. Instead of berating ourselves for setbacks, we can offer ourselves words of encouragement and understanding.
That makes so much sense. It's about shifting from self-criticism to self-support.
Exactly.
Instead of focusing on what we did wrong, we can focus on what we can learn from the experience and how we can move forward with greater self-awareness and kindness.
Exactly. And this shift in perspective can be incredibly liberating. When we practice self-compassion, we create space for growth and resilience.
Yeah.
We no longer feel the need to be perfect, and we can approach challenges with a more open and accepting attitude.
This has been such an insightful exploration of those first few tools for cultivating positive energy. I'm already feeling more equipped to face whatever challenges come my way.
And remember, these are just a few of the many tools available to us.
Right.
It's about finding what resonates with you and building your own personal toolkit for cultivating positive energy.
We'll be back in a moment to continue our deep dive, so stay tuned.
Welcome back to our deep dive on cultivating positive energy. I'm glad we took a moment to let those first few tools sink in.
Yeah.
Because they really are foundational to building resilience.
As we were reflecting, something occurred to me.
Okay.
We've been talking about choosing how we respond to challenges.
Right.
But what about those times when it feels like we're just reacting? Those moments when emotions take over and we don't feel like we have a choice?
Right. That's a really important point. And it's crucial to remember that we're not striving for some unattainable state of perfect positivity. We're human and we're going to experience a full range of emotions. Sometimes those emotions are intense and they can catch us off guard.
So how do we move from that knee-jerk reaction to a more intentional response? Especially when it feels like our emotions are running the show.
Well, the first step is simply recognizing that we're having a reaction.
Okay.
It's about pausing, taking a breath, and bringing awareness to what we're feeling in that moment. We can ask ourselves, what's happening here? What emotions am I experiencing?
That's where that self-awareness comes in.
Exactly.
It's about tuning in to our internal landscape and acknowledging those feelings without judgment.
Exactly. And that awareness creates a choice point. It allows us to step back from the intensity of the emotion and consider how we want to respond.
Okay.
Instead of letting our emotions dictate our actions, we can choose a response that aligns with our values and goals.
So it's not about suppressing or denying those difficult emotions.
Right.
It's about creating space for them, understanding them, and then choosing how we want to move forward.
Beautifully put. It's about taking ownership of our emotional experience. We're not passive passengers. We have the power to navigate our inner world, even when the terrain feels challenging.
And that's where those tools we've been discussing come in, right?
Exactly.
Gratitude, movement, connection, and self-compassion, they can help us navigate those choppy emotional waters.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Gratitude can shift our perspective. Movement can release tension.
Right.
Connection can remind us that we're not alone. And self-compassion allows us to be kind to ourselves even when we stumble. They're like anchors that help us stay grounded amidst the storms.
It's like we're building this inner sanctuary, a place where we can retreat to find peace and strength even when the outside world feels chaotic.
I love that imagery.
Yeah.
And the more we practice using these tools, the stronger that sanctuary becomes. We develop a greater sense of resilience and ability to weather those storms with more grace and ease.
This reminds me of something we touched on earlier, the garden analogy.
Oh, yeah.
If we think about those difficult emotions as storms that inevitably roll through our lives, those tools we've been discussing are like the strong roots that help our garden withstand those storms.
Such a powerful image. Those roots of gratitude, movement, connection, and self-compassion anchor us and allow us to bend without breaking.
Right.
And just like a garden that emerges from a storm even stronger and more vibrant, we too can grow through those challenging experiences.
It's not about avoiding the storms altogether.
Right.
It's about building the resilience to weather them and emerge even stronger on the other side.
And remember, building resilience is a journey, not a destination. It's an ongoing process of learning, growing, and adapting.
Right.
There will be times when we feel strong and capable, and there'll be times when we feel overwhelmed and discouraged.
That's so important to remember.
We don't have to be perfect at this.
No.
It's about progress, not perfection.
Exactly. And even small steps can make a big difference.
Right.
If we can cultivate these habits consistently, even in small ways, we're nourishing those roots of resilience and building a foundation for lasting well-being.
This has been such an insightful exploration of how to navigate those inevitable emotional challenges. I'm feeling so much more equipped to face those ups and downs with a sense of agency and hope.
And before we move on, I'd love to hear from our listener.
Yes.
What resonated with you most in this discussion? Which of these tools do you feel most drawn to explore further? We'd love to hear your thoughts.
We'll be back in a moment to wrap up this deep dive, so stay tuned. Welcome back. I don't know about you, but this deep dive has left me feeling incredibly energized and hopeful.
Me too.
It's amazing how, exploring these tools for cultivating positivity can have such a tangible impact.
It really is. It's a testament to the power of these practices. They're not just abstract ideas.
They're backed by research and countless personal experiences. And the more we understand them, the more effectively we can integrate them into our lives.
Absolutely. And I think what's really resonating with me is that this isn't about denying the challenges or pretending everything is perfect. It's about building that inner strength and resilience to navigate those challenges more skillfully.
It's about recognizing that we have a choice in how we respond to life's ups and downs. And while we may not always be able to control the circumstances, we can cultivate the inner resources to meet those circumstances with greater peace and clarity.
Now, as we're wrapping up this deep dive, I'm curious about something.
Okay.
We've been focusing on individual actions. But do you think there's a collective aspect to cultivating positive energy? Can we create a ripple effect that extends beyond ourselves?
That's such a thought-provoking question, and I absolutely believe there's a collective dimension to this. Think about it. When we practice gratitude, it often inspires kindness and generosity towards others.
Yeah.
When we move our bodies and feel energized, it can be contagious, motivating those around us to do the same.
And when we nurture those authentic connections,
Right.
It strengthens our communities and creates a more supportive environment for everyone.
Exactly.
And when we practice self-compassion, it often makes us more understanding and forgiving of others, fostering a sense of empathy and connection.
Exactly. It's like this beautiful upward spiral.
Yes.
Where individual acts of positivity contribute to a collective shift towards greater well-being.
So it's not just about personal transformation.
Right.
It's about contributing to a world where positivity, resilience, and connection flourish.
Precisely. And that's a vision worth striving for, isn't it?
Absolutely.
To create a world where people feel empowered to face challenges with hope, courage, and a sense of shared humanity.
Beautifully said. So for our listener, we hope this deep dive has sparked some new ideas and inspired you to explore these practices in your own life.
Yeah,
Remember, even small steps can make a profound difference.
absolutely. Start with one habit that resonates with you and see how it impacts your life.
Yeah,
And don't be afraid to experiment. Find what works best for you.
right.
The key is to keep cultivating that positive energy within yourself and watch as it ripples outward, creating a more vibrant and resilient world for all of us.
Thank you so much for joining us on this incredible journey. Until next time, keep exploring, keep growing, and keep shining your light.